welcome to the Web3 Talks. My name is Ornella Hernandez.
And I'm Stephen Best with the Surge podcast, powered by Future Blockchain Summit.
And today we have a special guest, Donatis Varnas, who is the co-founder and COO of EcoBlox. How are you today?
Really well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I wanted to start off just with the big news about NVIDIA. It has now become the most valuable company in the world, beating Microsoft. So I wanted to get your take on that and what you think that means for the greater chip making industry.
Absolutely. I think the chip industry has witnessed a tremendous growth with the new models and large language models coming onto the market. Actually, earlier this year, we had a pleasure meeting Jensen here in Dubai. He was visiting us. We had a pleasure to take a few selfies with him together and discuss how modular solutions can affect the development of the AI space. So right now, with NVIDIA has a really big market share, but they don't forget they have runner-ups coming, with NVIDIA and Tenstorrent, which is a little bit different architecture of the chips, but everything is focused on acceleration of the AI models. So that's going to be a really interesting upcoming few years in the AI space for sure.
And if you could tell us a little bit about the mission of EcoBlox.
For sure. So actually quite a few years ago, we started the whole computing journey, right? I think 2.5 years ago, we entered the Bitcoin mining space. We worked on many different projects in GCC region and in the United States with advising on how to develop Bitcoin mining farms. Back in the days, all of the systems were a little bit more old and not really secure, so we decided to actually build quite a few products ourselves. So we did the Bitcoin mining OS and then the Bitcoin mining, let's say, data center management system that actually led our way shifting towards the high performance computing. So right now with EcoBlox, we pretty much built modular supercomputers.
What does that mean exactly? You could break that down for us.
So modular literally stands for a modular data center that you can literally take it with you, put it on a trailer and transport from one place to another.
Okay, so
it's physically movable, portable, and really efficient data centers. So you have these racks that used to go into an actual building. Now it's going into, let's say, standard size 20-foot or 40-foot container that is retrofitted to support data center operations.
So blocks. Like
exactly.
eco-friendly blocks, you could say.
Yeah, so the name originated actually when we started building a lot of data centers ourselves. You need like a really big ecosystem of different partners and vendors to support the development of the data center. So it used to be the same for Bitcoin mining, and now it's the same for artificial intelligence as well. So when you look at the playground, you need land, you need power, you need water, you need concrete pads, you need electrical infrastructure, you need fire suppression systems, camera securities. There's so many moving parts in the development of the data center, and we decided to put everything into, our own little playground that we call it EcoBlox, an ecosystem of different blocks.
Okay, interesting. Let's take it back from the beginning because I know you guys started mostly in Bitcoin mining, so would love to just see how things have evolved, how things have changed in that aspect of mining and where you see the industry going.
Yeah, I think generally looking at the history, everything in the beginning was air-cooled systems. And because Bitcoin wasn't really, let's say, regulated as much as data centers, a lot of innovation has been happening in the cooling system itself. So right now we have the latest data centers are actually built to support hydro cooling, meaning that every server and every miner has cold water coming into the server. It heats up and comes as a hot water outside of the server that's being cooled again and distributed into the server. So it's a kind of closed loop system that is really, really efficient. And this is one of the innovations in the space as well.
It's like in water, right? The thing is underwater? No.
So there's another method to cool it, which is you're referring to is immersion cooling. So there's a dielectric fluid that goes into a really big tank and you physically submerge these miners into the oil. That's requires a little bit more maintenance because every time you need to take out the miner to fix it, or a server right now in data center space as well, you need to clean it up, repair it and then put it back in again. So it's a little bit more, it requires a bit more effort to do so, but with, let's say, water-cooled systems, every server has its own connection to the water supply.
Okay, and what is EcoBlox focusing on at the moment right now? What are your priorities?
We fully focused on building modular supercomputers. So we normally, we work.
What does that mean?
So
that would be the next logical step is the modular supercomputers.
Yeah,
That's what I would do.
Of course. So when we talk about modular, we mean physically a shipping container shell that's fully retrofitted to support data center environment and operations. So you have raised flooring, you have walls, you have fire protection systems, you have networking, all of the different architecture and cooling systems that goes in traditional data center building, but now it goes inside let's say the shipping container. So
okay, so you guys are designing, building, and shipping these computers or supercomputers,
yes,
servers, to clients.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
what kinds of clients or customers are you working with?
We work with quite a few. We work with a few private equity funds. So a great story was that a lot of them, they used to invest in AI startups, and then they got really tired of, they invested $1 million into a company, and the startup pays, $8 million to Amazon Web Services for cloud computing. So they said, why would I waste my money when I can build my own data center and my portfolio companies can use these supercomputers? So we work with private equity funds, family offices. We work with quite a few AI companies as well in the crypto and in non-crypto space. Also with metaverse projects.
Okay, can you talk about a few of those, the crypto companies?
Of course. Like just a few weeks ago, we participated in one of the biggest events in the computing space, which is a Computex conference in Taipei, in Taiwan. We actually had a public announcement with our partners with SingularityNet, as well as with Gigabyte, which is one of the leading server manufacturers for artificial intelligence as well. So, and with this announcement, we're actually building quite a few modular supercomputers, especially for SingularityNet to use globally.
Yeah, are you helping them build their humanoids?
Some of the things maybe I cannot answer publicly.
Okay, because I interviewed Desdemona. They have 3 sisters, right? Sophia, Desdemona, and then the other sister. So do those need supercomputers too, or?
Pretty much everything you use, it needs a supercomputer these days.
Okay.
Any large language model or any kind of computational, if you use a ChatGPT, it runs on really big data centers that are powered by supercomputers pretty much.
Where are these data centers?
A lot of them are placed in the US, but actually right now what's happening is it's a global market shift where a lot of companies are looking to develop and design new data centers that are a lot more efficient compared to what's existing right now on the market. Because of the AI boom and also new NVIDIA chips, AMD chips, the amount of cooling you need, it's really difficult to compare and integrate into an old data centers. Therefore, you pretty much need to retrofit the whole existing data center to support artificial intelligence operations.
Okay, and that's where EcoBlox comes in.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
What are the requirements to get one of these shipping containers, space-wise, power-wise? I imagine just any office can't just order one and say, great, now what do we do with it? Is it in the parking lot? Where does it go?
Yeah, literally, you can place it at the parking lot. No joke, yeah, for real. So you need power, first of all, and you need good internet connectivity. Ideally, you want to have 2 internet service providers in the same location to have really good redundancies. If you don't have it, you can still run your AI workloads. But ideally, yes, the power and the internet connectivity is required to have a sustainable operations of such data centers. Cooling is pretty well designed these days. You don't really need any external water supplies. If you don't have it on the site, you can have it fully sustainable cooling system as well placed next to the container.
Sure. Okay. And I think one of the benefits is that they're portable, right? So you can ship them actually as is, and they're pretty much ready to go, plug and play as soon as they get there. Do you believe that these clients have a need for portability as soon after they get them, or is it just so they can buy something prepackaged?
So it serves quite a few, let's say the key factors for getting going modular are the following. So one of them is the price. It's a lot more affordable compared to building an actual building, the concrete building for data centers. Second of all, the time to market. Building a traditional building might take you up to 2 or even 3 years to develop a tier 3 data center level. With modular data centers, you can actually get it done in 2 to 4 weeks time and have it installed on your premises and have it up and running. So when it comes to generating revenues and your time to market for a product, this is a really significant increase. Also, thirdly, really important is the local governance. So if the regulations are changing when it comes to AI and data processing, you can literally pack your modular data center, bring it to another country where regulations are a lot more, let's say, supportive towards your business, and you start your operations there.
Okay, great. And just because my imagination runs away from me sometimes, I'm picturing some of these very important companies having this portable data center, which I'm just picturing an evil villain in a movie picking it up on a helicopter, taking it away, and now they had their entire portable supercomputer and all of the data that it contains. I know that this is probably not something that is really going to happen.
There's always bad
could
actors.
this actually happen in the case of, like, let's say Microsoft or Apple, where they have all of our data? Now somebody just picked up their...
Can you steal data centers so easily?
I wouldn't say so. So normally you're going to have an adequate security systems for that as well. Like these data centers are not really, let's say, cheap. Even the higher end products can cost you between $20 to $40 million per one container, and it's a really heavy system.
I'm sure.
So normally it's not that straight. It's not that easy to move it around. You still need to, let's say, disassemble some of the items from the container before you ship it, also for safety and security reasons. And only then you do the transportation. But I think with the developments of the data centers here in the region, I don't think we really have a big problem when it comes to stealing modular data centers.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so Donatas, I also wanted to just get your personal take on all these things. What is your interest personally in AI and in its evolution, as well as in crypto? Like, are you an investor yourself, or how did you get into this industry in the first place?
Yeah, so my story dates back to around 2016-17. I was pretty active in investing and trading the cryptocurrencies back in the days. Then I actually moved I would say towards developing products. So I did some projects on Cardano blockchain back in the days as well for real estate transactions. With my co-founders, we're also working on some blockchain integrations for the other different products as well for the data center space. So I would say as EcoBlox, we've been in the crypto space for quite a long time. Also, not necessarily only from investing and trading, but also building the data centers that supports pretty much the whole crypto industry.
Okay, and where would you like to see the industry go? Like what would you like to see more of? What would you like to see less of?
I think what we would like to see more is to have more companies using actual AI infrastructure that's suitable for their products. What we see right now, let's say in the decentralized computing space, with a lot of the protocols that let you connect different systems from your home and contribute to the network and earn some tokens. A lot of the systems are a little bit outdated, and it's really challenging for some of the companies to actually use these systems because they're not really efficient, and it takes a really long time for them to run their models or do the job that they require to do. Where we would like to see the industry going is to have more of these decentralized protocols using the latest hardware equipment, because that's pretty much the future, right? Like a lot of the clients need the latest computer chips from AMD, NVIDIA to support their new developments of models or AI services.
So how do you stay up to date and ahead of the curve?
Well, it's always having a really close relationships with the manufacturers itself. First of all, you need to know their manufacturing timelines and what kind of new product is going to be coming onto the market. And I think this is where we were really fortunate with EcoBlox to have access to really high level, executives in these big companies, to work together with them and to develop and design these modular data centers that are going to be fully compatible with the next generation computer chips.
Okay, amazing. And then I have a few more fun questions for you, Donatas. If you could have any blockchain-based superpower, what would it be? Like if you could change anything with just the flick of your finger, what would you do?
In a blockchain space only, or also in AI?
Let's say AI too, sure.
Either.
Yeah.
There's so many things that we need to solve on a planet when it comes to computing, but I think I would say there are a few primary objectives that I would like to work on. One of them is actually longevity and space exploration.
Longevity of
human
people.
beings.
Okay.
Correct. Yes, because we have so much data about human bodies and how we work. That's why we see the latest technology is also happening with CRISPR and molecular modifications to expand the longevity of the human beings. But at the same time, we also want to explore what can be achieved outside of planet Earth.
Okay, so you would want to live forever. That would be your superpower.
Longer.
Longer.
Okay. Live longer.
Longer for sure.
Okay. If you could tokenize any memory moment in your life as an NFT, right? So it could be something from your personal life, something from your professional life, and have that memory on chain, basically. What would that be?
Difficult to say, but I think everyone wants to have a moment of birth, like the first time you saw the true light coming into this planet, right?
So your birth?
Yes.
Okay, some people say like their children. Yeah. But yeah,
I want to see mine first.
I hadn't gotten that answer.
You'll remember that one. You have pictures of that one.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. Which could also be transferred to your children afterwards, so you can actually see the memory timeline, right? It's building a family tree.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Steven, do you have any more questions?
No, I was actually trying to think of my answer to those questions, but I guess
Please
living longer and helping people live forever, and then the birth is a lot better than I can come up with. I was thinking he would just want smaller data centers, but he went into mortality.
Well, you need data centers for that, so it's a perfect combination for us, you know?
Yeah, fair. And so what are the risks associated with all of this? Like, do we want these mega supercomputers taking over the world?
Well, it's actually slowly changing. So there are a few primary trends happening right now globally. So we have really big companies building billion-dollar projects right now. One of the latest announcements was actually X together building a 100,000 NVIDIA GPUs supercomputer versus some smaller companies actually going towards more modular and more custom-made solutions. And this is where we normally come into the play and support clients with. You don't need $1 billion to build a data center. You can, you need what you need for now. And with the latest generation of the equipment, you're going to need probably less of that equipment to achieve the same computational needs for your company. So everything is getting smaller, smaller, and smaller, and you're going to need a lot less space, a lot less electricity to achieve the same computational requirements.
All right. Well, that sounds positive.
I was wondering, but was it IBM that originally said that there's no reason for anybody to have a personal computer at their home? I forget exactly who it was, but back in the early days of computer, they said that there would be no need. It's not going to be a household item. And now all of us have at least 2 computers, right? One in our pockets and one in our laptop bags, right? If not more. Do you think that this is the type of technology that will be available to the average user? Will the average user need this level of computation for their day-to-day lives the way that our iPhones have more computational power than the rocket that went to the moon the first time?
I think there's a lot of applications that you run and you don't really understand the computational power required to run these applications. If you're using ChatGPT, it's a really intensive algorithm to compute the outcomes you need for your answers. So I think moving forward, we're going to have a lot less, let's say, maybe physical devices. We have a lot more actually glasses coming up with the little supercomputers inside it. And probably moving forward, we're going to have a lot more contact lenses that are going to have a battery inside it that's going to support everything on screen, on device, right there. And it's also going to be able to do some of, let's say, basic AI computations on the spot.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of the upcoming mobile phones and even your smartwatches, they already have, let's say, some hardware that can support very basic, energy efficient models. But moving forward, we're going to have a lot more of that hardware coming onto our, mobile phones and watches and glasses frames. And we don't really need to know that, right?
Wow. Okay. I'm curious. Now you're saying all this. What are your top 3 favorite apps that you use the most that you can't live without, basically?
Pretty much everything is work related these days. So we are really big on Discord. We use Discord, Telegram, and LinkedIn is also a really good application that I love using.
So maybe in the future we'll have all that chips, or we'll be able to access these platforms using our contact lenses or our glasses?
Yeah, you already see it with all of the virtual reality goggles and Apple devices, right? You only have a mini power bank and everything is pretty much computated already in front of your eyes, real time. So this is what
most people aren't walking around with VR headsets on yet.
Not yet, yeah. They're still pretty heavy. There's quite a bit of innovation to be done.
The technology he was describing, where you're going to have contact lenses, it means you don't need a whole headset.
Right.
It's going to be there already.
But I think it still has quite a long way to go. There are quite a few startups building these contact lenses already with integrated even battery sources inside it. But it has to go through a lot of approvals to actually safely wear it on your eyes. But right now, I think in the upcoming years, we're going to see a lot more technology coming. Everything is going to be placed literally in your eyeglasses frame. Oh,
wow. All right. Well, in the meantime, Donatas, what is the best way for our audience to reach out to you if they have any questions or to learn more about EcoBlox?
First, check our website, ecoblox.io. A lot of information is there. Feel free to reach out personally and privately on LinkedIn, Telegram, WhatsApp. We're pretty much on all of the social media channels as well. And we're going to be able to support your new computational projects.
Okay, amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and everyone make sure to check out this episode as well. It will be up on the MENA Search podcast platforms on Spotify, correct, Steven?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and to also check out other episodes of the Web3 Talks while you're at it. Thanks again for tuning in.